it's interesting to think about because relaxation is kind of a tough one, you know? How do you relax? Trying to relax is sort of a paradox, right? And yet, you know, you can even kind of force yourself to relax. It's difficult, but then by doing that, some part of you is not relaxing. Yeah, it's a puzzle. It's an enigma. But letting go and doing what feels natural to you, and just sort of, you know, saying no to too much busyness, things like that, can really be healing. Whew, yeah. Yoga, you know, everything should be effortless. You know, I think this is something funny too, because right now I'm doing a lot of effortless action, but it doesn't feel the way I thought it would. You know, I still have to sit down and you know, decide to do something. And I think I thought that if I'd find the thing I really like, it would be like, it would feel so effortless, I wouldn't even feel like I'm doing it. It would almost feel like sleeping. But no, I'm doing stuff and I get exhausted sometimes. And I understand how people get burned out. People are doing what they want to do, what their dream is, but they're they push themselves too hard, and I think there's a little bit of a guilt of like, oh, I get to do what I want to do, or I get to do something a little more complex, so that means I have to work myself to death doing it, you know. I like it to be more artistic, and just let it flow out. But even art can like, even having a more artistic view of it, I mean, whether it's art or whatever, doesn't have to be drawing or painting or anything. You can have an artistic mindset about anything, or you can have a laborious mindset about anything. So even if you have an artistic mindset, that can drive you to overdo it. I think the consequences of artistic burnout, though, are a lot less severe than the results of burnout from just laboring too hard. It's something that you don't necessarily have your heart in. Yeah. But I think art should be exploring the inner psyche, you know? It's an exploration. And sometimes you can get too close to the sun. Sometimes you can get through too many layers and go into too much depth. You know, the darkness at the end of the mind is truly terrifying. So yeah, it makes me think about relaxation. I feel like you can't even be a person until you figure out how to relax. You know, like, I had to figure out how to relax, and then meditation was super easy, and actually meditation is part of what helped me figure out how to relax. But then, you know, all kinds of meditations became easy. So I kind of, in a weird way, I kind of learned how to relax, but at the same time I sort of brute forced myself into knowing how to relax. Very hard thing. I do think figuring out how to relax is a really basic, it's sort of a basic, almost rite of passage into, you know, sort of the Zen school of thought of magic, or not Zen school of thought, but like I feel like the way I did it, I became more Zen. But the point of becoming more Zen was to become more powerful, was to make myself more potent as a soul acting in the world. So I think this is This is important. I don't know how, you know, obscure that really is, but that's when the real power, that's when I started getting the real power, because once I learned to relax like that, then I crossed the abyss shortly after.